Start. Dear learners, I am Ritesh Kumar Ravi, Assistant Professor. Today, our agenda is to discuss the lab number 10 program, and that is a C program to calculate the compound interest without a user input. Sir, we had already calculated the simple interest. Now, what is the meaning of a compound interest? So, dear friends, hopefully you have already read in the 7th or the 10th class or the basic fundamental classes where we had differentiated two types of interest, in which the simple interest, when the human being give a loan to the other person, with the basic interest, which calculates on the constant value of the principal amount. But here, compound interest, like the banks are giving the loan to the customers, which always add on the values of interest value in the principal amount in the subsequent years. Hopefully you got it, and there the formula is also different. So as per our basic programming skills, since it is a bit a bigger program, so I have put it like this, already done the program, and showing you how exactly we have to do the programs with a better way. So first of all, what we did, we have included the header files. So what are the header files that we include in general? As you know that the first one is has include, as we can see, the first one is has include studio.h, and the second one is the conio.h, as I have explained earlier also. Studio.h header files already define the printf and scanf system defined functions, and only we need to pass the parameters, while the conio.h, which is used for holding the screens and clearing the previous output of the data. So hopefully you got it, and this is a method that how the power function, the main concept of it is how the power functions we have to use it, even with the function of has include math.h, but I have just ensured that this time with the add-on header functions, that is math.h, like the con. Why does it need so? Because a power function is already well defined in the system under the math.h, means maths header files, which is having a chunk of functions. Now, this is the driver code, we can say, or including the main, that I use that driver code or the main function. Why it is driver? Because all the functions have been called and done basically at here. So int main, as you know that. So if it is a int main, hopefully you remember that I add a return zero by default over here, get ch and CLR for just clearing and holding the screens. Now, as usual, since it is a without user input, so we have done the definitions over there rather than declarations, because double principle, why we have taken double? It is also a new data type, which we have seen that earlier it was showing the errors. Like once we have put the 10,000 rupees and we had seen that it is showing a minus 55. Hope you remember in the earlier programs, while the concept and the logic was perfectly all right. So this time I had changed the data type from integer to double, so that the sizes of the variable will become of a 10 bytes, and the larger values can be accommodated. While in integer only 16 bits of data can be seen, and hence it is very difficult to accommodate it, and it is showing in the minus value. However, 1000 rupees it was showing the perfect result. Let's see. The next thing that we need is double a rate. We can see rate, we have put it as a 5%. We can change it as per your requirement, and the time which is also required. Now, again, we have checked it that whether it is working well fine or not. Now, coming to the calculating of compound interest, which is a very crucial, and the power function is the most crucial part of this entire coding part. So again, since everything is double, we used to take the double amount, and the principal value. First of all, amount is the total values after the fixed amount of tenure or the time like 2 years, what is the total amount that it has to pay? And inside that, if we subtract the principal amount of from the total amounts, gives the compound interest value. So first of all, we can take it into the two parts also for your remembrance, and for your better remembrance, I am putting it a small change of it and with a very small value. So this is a very small difference for your kind attention, so that you must not be vulnerable that what exactly the true formulas is. This is for the total amount of time, total amount of value after the fixed amount of tenure, and the formula is the principal into power of, you know that the time is actually the power. So power of that time values inside that power 1 plus rate by 100. You can go through it again with the formula part also if you are not able to recall this time. So just go it is a principal into 1 plus rate upon 100 to the power time. So we cannot write, so we, that's why we have used a function power, which is holded by math.h header file. So that's great. That sounds really nice. And after that, we had calculated the CI value, means compound interest value, and which is calculated by amount minus a principal. Ensure that the variables you are taking must be the same in the logic part also, otherwise it will give you the error. So hopefully after calculating it, the real process of displaying, so compound interest has been written as a value with the double values data type is LF, means long float is known as a double. So whenever like integer we do ampersand d, float ampersand f, likewise a double will be repeated or written as F. Hopefully it is very much clear to you, and it's time to compile it. So Alt F9, obviously warning 0 and error 0. That's our real choice and a dream while doing the coding. And after that, Alt F, Control F9 for the output. And we can see the lab number 10 C program to calculate the compound interest importantly without the user, because we are not typing or giving the values from the computer system. And this time you can say there is no negative values and output is coming with the decimal values perfectly. So I would like to check it with some different inputs for that value may become with in the fractional part. I would like to put it as a 3 because it will definitely give some fractional values, and we want to increase the value over here. It is up to the 2000, and now we are running. That's fine, that's great. Warning error is 0, and now its output we can see the value has been changed. You can calculate it with your hands, and the value is coming perfectly. So I'm just putting it like it's very zero kind of values. So suppose I am putting a without a zero over here, and then running it. I am putting a better value for that. Alt F9, that's fine. And then you can see that's what my dream was. But again, I'm running for you. So I have run it for you, 0 and Control F. So this is the real things that we can see over here. Alt F9, no error, no word, and the output is coming this. So hopefully, I'm just putting it like this. So that's it from my side. It's time for summarizations and what we have done it. So lab number 10 program. And accordingly, we have taken the header files, one more header files that I have shown over here. That one more header file has been taken as a math.h for the power functions, which is the main target of it. And after applying the definitions, we had used the basic, most important formula for compound interest, and importantly, the power is going to be calculated properly. And for that, we have written the principal into 1 plus rate by 100 to the power time will be a power function of 1 plus rate by 100 and then comma time. So this is a basic function. And after that, we had just subtracted the principal amount for calculating the compound interest and displayed it. Thank you so much, dear learners. Enjoy learning.